Okay. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. It's a pleasure to be here today, of course, with Prime Minister, with all our colleagues, and with all of you. Canadian industry is the backbone of our economy, and today we're here to strengthen that backbone. Indeed. Over the past few weeks, we've traveled the country meeting our workers and our industries. And people understand that we're living in a much more unpredictable and dangerous world. There are things we cannot control, but there are lots of things that we can control. What we heard is this. First, a call for more support. Second, a pride to keep building Canada strong. And third, a shared determination on that mission. The global trade landscape is shifting, and Canada must meet the moment. Our government is building a more resilient, a more independent economy, one that puts Canadian workers and industries first. Aujourd'hui, nous investissons dans nos travailleurs et nos industries. On investit dans les gens de chez nous et dans nos entreprises. Les gens veulent qu'on agisse et c'est exactement ce qu'on fait. On le fait parce que c'est bon pour notre économie et c'est bon pour le Canada. We're doing this not only to protect our economy now, but also to make sure that we're thinking ahead and we're acting for the long term. And together, we're laying the foundation for Canada's prosperity wherever region of this country can grow, succeed, and lead. And with now, indeed, and now, it is my pleasure to present you the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney.
Certainly done. Merci. Thank you. Merci beaucoup, Minister Joly. Bonjour tout le monde. It is a great pleasure to be here at Mitsubishi Heavy. And I just want to say a word before I get started about what an incredible company this is. Wait, Luke, thank you for welcoming us here because this is a company that is connected across Canada and is connected around the world. I lived in Japan 35 years ago now. Oh, am I 60? Yes, I am 60. Well, leading company then, leading company now. And as a signal of the importance of companies like this, a signal of the importance of the issue we're going to talk about today, I'm joined today by Cabinet colleagues, Minister Joly, Minister Champagne, Mr. MacDonald, Mr. Haiju, Mr. de Bruzen, Mr. Lightbound, and Secretary of State Zaruchelli. I'm joined by the Peel Caucus. You are joined by the Government of Canada. We have just come from 2 days of our federal cabinet convening in North York, and we spent those days with a clear focus on delivering our overarching mission in this time of crisis. Our overarching mission is to build Canada's economic strength in face of unprecedented change. Now, here at Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, we're surrounded by examples of that strength. State-of-the-art manufacturing, state-of-the-art assembly expertise, Canadian skill and ingenuity, a supply chain that makes heavy use of Canadian materials such as Quebec aluminum. And workers in this facility are building more than aircraft. They are building a stronger future for their families and for our country. Alors que le nouveau gouvernement du Canada regarde vers l'avenir, nous restons concentrés sur une priorité: donner à nos travailleurs les moyens de le saisir, doubler le rythme de construction de logements au cours de la prochaine décennie, accélérer les grands projets d'intérêt national, mettre en place une nouvelle stratégie industrielle de défense en reconstruisant, en réarmant et réinvestissant dans nos forces armées. Et garder le cap sur 3 objectifs clairs: protéger nos communautés, sécuriser nos frontières et réduire le coût de la vie. The world is changing rapidly. The largest economy, the United States, is fundamentally reshaping all of its trading relationships. And we're moving from an age that lasted decades, an age when free trade was a motor of global economic growth, to a new age, an age of economic nationalism and mercantilism. You know, the U.S. tariff rate is now the highest it has been since the Great Depression in the 1930s. And these tariffs are being applied to all countries on nearly all goods. And the changes in U.S. policy go beyond tariffs. Countries now must, in effect, buy access to the world's largest economy through investments, through unilateral trade liberalization, and policy changes in their home markets. And all the while, the transformation of global trade is occurring against a backdrop of wider economic disruptions, of geopolitical realignment, of AI and other technological transformations, and the necessity, the imperative of a shift to a greener economy. What's going on is not a transition, it's a rupture, and its effect will be profound. Workers displaced from their jobs, supply chains that have existed for decades disrupted, companies forced to change where they find their materials and their products. And all of this is causing an extreme uncertainty that's holding back massive amounts of investment and, as a consequence, slowing economic growth. Just this morning, we see the impact in today's employment report in Canada, with unemployment rising across regions and sectors. This makes decisive action crucial. To be clear, we're in a position right now where Canada currently has the best trading deal with the United States of any of their trading partners. 85% of our trade with the U.S. is now tariff-free. And we have the lowest tariff rate of any country in the world. But we also know that given all those changes, given the rupture, we can't rely on our most important trading partner as we once did. Le libre-échange, depuis longtemps, est un pilier de l'économie canadienne. Pendant des décennies, notre participation croissante au marché américain a constitué l'un des fondements de notre force économique. Le commerce représente près de 2/3 du produit intérieur brut du Canada. Des secteurs comme l'automobile, l'acier et l'aluminium envoient plus de 90% de leurs exportations vers les États-Unis et, dans bien des cas, les chaînes d'approvisionnement sont interdépendants. Ces secteurs sont essentiels pour notre économie en raison de l'ampleur de leur production, des carrières qu'ils génèrent et des collectivités qu'ils soutiennent. Ce qui était autrefois une des plus grandes forces du Canada est aujourd'hui devenu une vulnérabilité. So our relationship with the United States, so essential for so many industries, was once one of our greatest strengths, and in many cases, in certain sectors, has become a vulnerability. This disruption calls for a bold new approach. And given, as Minister Joly said, given that we can't control what other nations do, Canada's government is focused on what we can control. And that means building our strength at home, building Canada strong. That means giving our workers and our companies the tools they need, retraining our workers, transforming our strategic sectors, creating entirely new industries, and being our own best customer by buying Canadian. And to these ends, our new government is embarking on an ambitious plan to secure a new era of prosperity out of this age of adversity. Our new industrial strategy will help transform our economy from being overly reliant on the United States to one that is more resilient to global shocks. A new economy that's built on the solid foundation of Canadian industries, Canadian workers, and it's bolstered by diverse international trading partners. To drive this transformation, we've just launched the Major Projects Office. Its job is to fast-track major nation-building projects. Shortly, we will launch Build Canada Homes, just later this month. And that's a new government entity that will help double the pace of housing construction over the next decade, while creating a new housing industry using Canadian technology, Canadian workers, and Canadian lumber. This fall, we will unveil a new defense industrial strategy so that our defense estimates, which will be enormous, our defense investments support the growth of Canadian industries and create Canadian jobs and careers. We'll begin this month our negotiations of a new defense and security partnership with the European Union, and we launched a new trade diversification strategy to develop new export markets. We will soon also release our climate competitiveness strategy to position Canada as a leader in decarbonization. As Canada's new government embarks on these missions, we will work to ensure Canadian businesses and workers have the tools that they need to help drive this transformation.